tangata Oia ua Sili lava Na tule ali mau osa tele na mea Ona vinga na menino I love Alona valea Tala ni ua watatu maua Ia whaile ina ia manaya Foye le tupo vetu ale tawi e tali Fie filo whamaoni Ia pese madie Na te whateo le timu ai sau le laotie Se pese manaya Whawhie fie ina ia tau au ina malaya Tato vai vai ngala the fale tangata Ua tili ma walalo ai le tulanga Baile na forma walalo tau sama anga E mala au minai o e whano fo ile masala fa O tale ni ua o tato maua ia whaile ile ia manaya Fo ile tupo le tole tau e tali Fie filu whamauni Ia pese mandie Na te whateo le timu ai sau le laotie Se pese manaya Whawhie fie ina e tau au ina malaya O usoa au whai pese ki au taia Fatima suni se pesa se afi pule oile fainga Nei su e tupe malavi inga me e tele I faia Nei moli ai o e tau tau li ai o faiva O tale ni uba o tatu moa ia faile nei ia maneia Foi o tupu vetu le tau e tali Fie filo whamaoni Ia pese manie Na te whateo le timu ai sau le laupie Se pese manaya E whawhie fie ina I e tau au ina malaya
Kia ora whanau, tāna palawa, Manuele Lei, Nisam Bulavinaka, kia ora na, kia ora. Talohani noa ia, and aloha to my beautiful Pacific community on this Tuesday, the 9th of August 2021. 3:15 now. I think we should just go straight into our interview. Pamali atu le paia male malu tātou atunuu, a little bit late, a little bit delayed because traffic, oh my gosh, I was stuck in traffic on the motorway. While I'm there, in traffic, might as well just give an update about traffic. It's really busy, so if you've just finished work, drive home slowly, safely, and yeah, you'll get home. Stick to that speed limit of either 50 or 60 or 100 if you're on a motorway, not 101. But anyways, I've got an amazing guest on the show today. Another episode of Pacific Health Talanoa with Lorenzo. Susana Suisuiki is a communications specialist, communications manager with over 6 years experience. She has worked in health, non-profit, and is currently in the Pacific development space. Outside of work, Susana is a Siva Samoa performer. She is a member of both Manamea Dance Academy and Malu Taupou dance group. Susana is also an advocate for women empowerment and will be judging the upcoming Miss Earth New Zealand pageant this month. So welcome on the show to my taia Susana. Talofa Susana.
Talofa Lorenzo, so good to be here.
Oh man, welcome back because I had you on a Radio 531 PI, but it is great to have you here because you and I are going to have an interesting conversation, Talanoa, about your journey and also how you look after your health and well-being. But before we do that, tell our audience a little bit about yourself, Susana.
Yep, so I was born and raised in Auckland. Majority of my My childhood was spent in East Auckland. So I was born to my wonderful parents, Utsufiu and Maria. So my father comes from Satapuala and my mother hails from Litongo.
Oh, wow. Wow, from the Tongo in Satapuala. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. With your role as a communications and marketing manager for a Pacific provider, Pacific Cooperations Foundation, what has been your proudest moment or your proudest achievement so far in your current role as a communications specialist?
Yep. So, having worked within Pacific communities, I felt that my career objective or life purpose has, shifted. So it's now shifted towards, amplifying a Pacific community's voices and, making a difference in their lives.
Wow.
But, one of my proudest moments has to be connecting and empowering our Pacific youth. I've been fortunate to meet a lot of young Pacific people, not only here in New Zealand, but across the Pacific region, from Tahiti, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, I'm so fortunate to have played a small part in their journey.
Wow. That's role modeling, I'll say. Those young leaders, they look up to you because as a young Tamaitai Samoa holding a management position for the Pacific Corporation Foundation was as a mainstream Pacific provider. Take my hat off, salute, Susana.
Thank you so much.
Tell me, pretty sure you face challenges on a daily basis in the role that you're currently doing. What are some of those challenges, that you face on a daily basis, in your professional work?
Yeah, well, thank you. I guess, ever since I've come into this role, I've always felt that there's been an imposter syndrome. And then, that led to me being a bit modest or humble about my capabilities. But, and in our Pacific cultures, humility is something that's admired and that we stand for. But, in workplace culture, people favor those who demonstrate courage, right? And who, I wouldn't say brag, but they're confident in talking about their achievements where I wasn't really, I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
But I've learned that, outside of work, I've put my name forward in other passion projects, like, performing the Siva Samoa, helping out at my old university and schools, and appearing on shows like this, has helped me to build that confidence to put my name towards my work.
Nice. So through your journey as a student at Paradigm, did you ever sort of envision or visualize yourself being a communication specialist at the age that where you are at now?
That's a good question. Not really.
What was your dream when you were at high school?
I wanted to be a journalist.
Oh, really?
Funnily enough, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's not too late to kind of dabble in journalism.
How did the change come into? How did your the change of career come to happen?
When I attended,
journalism to now communication specialist.
When I went to AUT University, I actually attended there on a full scholarship.
Okay.
So hats off to Pacific Island Media Association for the scholarship, and it broadened my mind to the different career options within communications.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I went in there thinking solely, okay, I need to be a journalist. But after talking to advisors and other students, I felt particularly interested in what public relations had to offer. So that's what I ended up majoring in.
You sound like you like writing.
Yeah.
Reading poetry, because for someone who dreamed about becoming a journalist and then change into marketing and communications, well, there's similarity. There's a relationship there.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you a poet yourself or a writer? I mean,
I would say writer. I don't know about poet. I have dabbled a bit in poetry, but I wouldn't say. It's like Albert Wendt.
Wow.
Style, but
Tell me, What got you into writing? I mean, something must have happened, or an interest, something from your parents, or maybe a seed that was planted in church.
Yeah.
Or,
I don't know. I've thought a lot about that. I would say some of it was influenced by my family because
Yes.
they do have a long history in the performing and creative arts in Samoa.
there you go.
So, with my mum's family, my great uncles, they were gifted songwriters, and, it led to the formation of the Faula band.
Just Faula?
Yes.
From the Tongo, eh?
Yes.
Wow, the famous Faula band.
Yep, that's right. And my aunties and uncles, they were performers. So they did the Siva Samoa, Fatsaupati, fire dancing, and that led to many opportunities. So they got to go overseas and perform.
Wow.
And funnily enough, that's how my aunties and uncles met their spouses.
Wow, okay, carry on.
Yep. And I don't know, maybe some of that influence had rubbed off on me as
Yeah.
a kid. And in primary school, I was a bookworm. Like
Yeah,
I'd bury my head in books
In books,
and
wow.
just, be lost in the, in the world of, I don't know, like monsters and dinosaurs, fairies and princesses.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that you buried your head in books.
Mm-hmm.
The change that we see now, Susana, in terms of technology.
Yeah.
We now bury our heads, into
And
our phones
smartphones.
and devices.
Yeah.
God, what do you think? Do you even wish that we could go back and live the same old life of reading books without devices?
I mean, I'm not really sure because, our smartphones and the internet has helped us stay connected.
Absolutely. Like
to
a navigator.
communities, communities outside of New Zealand. It's helped us to stay connected to our families who are in Samoa or the Pacific Islands. So, there are benefits, but there's also cons to that as well. Like, we're so distracted. I guess our concentration levels has dwindled.
Absolutely. And also the communications between the children, the whānau and their parents now are you're in the lounge, mum is in the kitchen, and you're texting your mum, can you, we now communicate via messages, via social media, technology.
Yeah. I mean, for me, whenever I'm messaging someone, I guess the message can get a bit misconstrued.
Yes.
But when you're sitting in person having a conversation like you and I, we're able to read the body language, the expressions, the emotions. There's nothing like having a good old-fashioned conversation.
Absolutely. That's a. Let's go back to your family talent,
Yep.
Siva Samoa and songwriting. I'm aware that you are also a member of Manamea Dance Academy. You're also a dancer, a performer for Malu Taupou.
Yep.
And I saw you and your group Malu Taupou perform at one of the events inside Mangere Town Centre. That performance, I'm not lying, but it was praised by one of our Pacific community leaders from Otago Uni because of the way you guys dance, with gracefulness, a real, Tamaitai Samoa, and really authentic. The way you guys move, how you have your eyes, follow the actions, and and the action just goes with the lyrics, with the songs. Hey, tell me about your journey with Manamea and Malu Taupou.
Cool. So, to be honest, when I was little and our parents would teach us how to siva, I found it boring. I mean, because I wasn't as cool as ballet, jazz, all those, I guess, mainstream dancers. But it's only because I never appreciated the mana and the beauty of Siva Samoa. When you grow older, you learn to absorb like just everything that's so beautiful about it.
Or maybe you were at the age where you were just coming to understand a bit more, your identity.
That's right.
Because you were speaking English English at school, you weren't sure whether you were Samoan or...
That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like, as a New Zealand-born Samoan, we've kind of have to navigate two worlds.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
there's one world where you have to be a Kiwi.
Yeah.
But then you also have to balance that with being Samoan at home. And, I'm still on that journey trying to learn my Samoans, my Samoan culture. Like, obviously, my language needs a lot of work. But, through Manamea and Malu Taupou, I'm still able to stay connected to my Samoan culture.
Yeah. How do you see, you being a performer, a member of Malu Taupou and Manamea? How does that help you with your well-being? You're too busy. You're a manager at PCF. You've got 2 groups that you're a member of, and then you've got other commitments. How do you manage to look after yourself, with all these commitments?
No, that's a good question. Well, obviously, I got to prioritize work because got to pay the bills and help out with family stuff. But Siva Samoa and everything outside of work is purely led by passion. So no matter what, I'm just absorbing myself, into my passion projects because I know that it'll benefit my mental well-being greatly. And that's something that I want to open up more, like discussions around mental well-being, because I still feel that we have a long way to go as Pacific peoples, normalizing our mental
health, mental health. And health overall, being holistic.
That's right.
We look after one element and forget about the other 4 elements of your health.
I mean, it's no secret that, we're overrepresented in poor health statistics. But honestly, everyone that works in the health sector, not just our frontline workers, we all have a part to play.
Absolutely.
In changing the narrative.
Absolutely.
So,
Wow. When you're performing on that stage in front of people that you have never met or seen before, what goes through in your head? Like, you're listening to the song and that sort of like takes you back to your roots, your culture, your identity. What goes through your head when you're performing?
I mean, naturally, I do get nervous, but, once the music starts and the beat kicks in, you just forget about everything. And then it's like all your movement, it's storytelling, right? But storytelling with heart. So every movement, every facial expression, I put my heart into it.
Wow. And you've got a project coming up this month, the pageant, and that you are a judge for.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit about that, or is that like...
No, definitely. So a friend of mine had asked me if I could, be a judge for Miss Earth New Zealand.
Wow.
Yes, it is a national competition, so I'm aware that we have contestants coming from outside of Auckland, competing for the title. And, I admire them, for their bravery, for their courage, in stepping up to participate in this platform. I mean, beauty pageants, they tend to get a lot of flack because people think that it's just an opportunity for girls to have media opportunities and just look pretty. But no, it's a platform. It's an opportunity for them to share about their interests and what they advocate for. So I'm all for that because, us women got to stick together.
Wow. And maybe look at it as, and it's just another way to empower women.
Exactly.
Another way to empower women.
Yeah.
Women not competing, but they're showcasing their talents and what they have been blessed with. And then in an audience, it's going to be dominated by women. So women coming together to celebrate their achievements together. So that's how I see it, Sana. Another way, Pacific way to empower our Tamaitai Pasifika, Tamaitai Samoa. But Manamea, I'm very interested because I'm aware that there's dance academies in South Auckland, too many. Central Auckland, West Auckland. But then when I saw the flyer, the post on Facebook about Manamea in Glen Innes and GI, I was like, well done. I take my hat off to the organizer and to the founder of Manamea, because that must be the only dance academy, Samoan, Siva, in GI.
That's right.
How can people register, or how can our Tamaitai Samoa join the group? Susana?
Well, unfortunately, registrations have closed for the program.
It's full already? Is it full already?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
full. Hats off to my auntie Josefina, who is the director of Manamea Dance Academy. But we will be holding a showcase on the 25th of September.
21st of September? 25th. Wow. So you're going to showcase all your practices and all your items
That's
and everything
right.
that you're learning right
That's
now,
right.
eh?
Everything that my auntie has taught to the young girls.
Wow. Well
know?
done, man.
And not only is Manamea a SIVA program, but the girls also learn about basic Samoan words and sayings, and my auntie makes a huge effort into empowering these young girls. I mean, they're coming out of their comfort zone.
Wow.
They're probably scared, but my auntie always encourages them to don't be ashamed and don't have any fear of trying new things.
Wow. There you go. Another way to empower women.
Exactly.
To make ta'i Samoa. Maybe in the long term, your auntie, I'm pretty sure, she has a goal to maybe teach the make ta'i Samoa on how to do avala'au i le laulau, calling parents and guests to come for dinner,
Yes.
or to come, to the table for a meal, and maybe slowly get into sula tonga, acknowledging, ia tonga and all that type of stuff. A role for the make ta'i Samoa.
She can definitely do that. And you know what, Lorenzo? I really feel that she needs to come on the show and,
Absolutely.
talk about her
auntie.
journey.
Next week, auntie. So, yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure, eh? You can come with Sana. But anyways, is there anything else? Maybe your advice for our tamaitai, young tamaitai who have maybe low self-esteem, low self-confidence, self-belief, How do you get yourself up and say, every morning and say, I can do this. This is my battle. I'm going to break it through.
Honestly, I think just surrounding yourself with people who will inspire you, whether that be your partner, your friends at school. Surround yourself with people.
With leaders, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
But always believe in yourself. At the end of the day, tell yourself that you can do it. Always believe in yourself, but also take care of yourself.
Can I just add to Sana's advice?
Yeah.
The comparisons. That's quite common, amongst our Pacific community, especially amongst us Samoans. Never compare yourself to others. Never. Whatever God has blessed you with, take it with both hands and use it. I tell you what, you will thrive and you will fly. And
I agree with that.
you'll become Superman. Anyway, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yes, you want to add? You want to add something?
No, Lorenzo, you're so right about comparison. I mean, I guess that's what sets off people being insecure about themselves.
Absolutely.
And life's too short to be insecure.
Wow.
So, anyways, always believe in yourself.
Thank you so much, Susana Suisuiki, for coming on the show. I would love to have your auntie and yourself
Yes.
to represent Manamea and talk more about your long-term goals and what and how extras that you can offer to our Tamaitai Samoa. But good luck with the pageant.
Thank you.
If you need a porter or driver, me and Nemo. But God bless you and thank you so much. Nā Samoa, that's the first half of our Pacific Health Talanoa with Susana Suisuiki. I'll be back.
Squad, baby. Rex, J. Sands.
Let's go.
Oh, say I'm say you are complete to me, I get you. By the way that you move and the way that you smile. Say, oh my Dorima, baby, you be giving your hand, I'll take you anywhere. You give me something that I never had. Cause you care, but about to me and the family. Say, why you waiting on me to talk to you? Yeah, I'm I'ma listen what y'all say, yeah. Don't move out in the come here, yeah. They on the layout, oh, dirty wine, girl, dirty wine, yeah. Say, tama in, no te pai, toque lo sé.